Okay, so this is a quick check on the test that we had. Um, the first question is here, f of x is 4x minus x squared plus 6, and you have to write in ax minus h the whole squared plus k form, and predict the transformation that is needed uh, to map 4x minus x squared plus 6 onto this form. So what I'm going to do is, first thing is obviously I'm going to write down this in perfect squared form. So you're going to take negative common. So negative 1, x squared minus 4x and plus 6. Now you're going to take x squared minus 4x, take the coefficient of x divided by 2, square and add and subtract. So positive 4, negative 4 plus 6. Now this becomes negative x minus 2 the whole squared minus 4 plus 6. This is going to become negative x minus 2 the whole squared plus 10. So this is basically the perfect squared form for this question. Now here the question is, the next part is predict the transformation that is needed from this form to this form. So here from x squared, I mean from this graph, I have to go to x squared. Now the general mistake the students do is that they actually start doing from here to here, but actually you're supposed to do from here to here. Now what I would do is, firstly, in order to map this, I'm going to bring this graph 10 units down. So when I do 10 units down, it's going to obviously make it minus 10. So you bring it, you translate by 0 and negative 10. And so this get canceled. Then you get rid of this negative. So you reflect an x-axis, And then here, if I have to cancel this negative 2, I need to move 2 units to the left. So it'll become, so after doing this, I got negative x minus 2 the whole squared. After doing this, I got x minus 2 the whole squared. And now I'm going to move 2 units to left. So 2 units to the left. So you're going to get x plus 2 minus 2 the whole squared. So you replace x with x plus 2. So you get x minus 2 the whole squared. This gets cancelled. So you get x squared. So this is the basic answer for the first question. Okay, so here's the next question. F of x is 7 over 2x minus 3 plus 5. State the domain and range. Now, since you know this is of the kind y equals to a plus b over cx plus d form. So here the horizontal asymptote is y equals to a. So automatically, as x tends to positive or negative infinity, your y tends to 5. Hence, that's your horizontal asymptote. Or you could take LCM and do whatever, like we just follow in general. So horizontal asymptote is y equals to 5. So when you write on the range for this, it will be y belongs to real numbers and y should not be 5. And for domain, we got x belongs to real numbers. X should not be 3 over 2. And then next up is that there is another function, g of x's, which is f of 4 minus 3x. State the transformation that is needed for f of x to g of x, means from here to here. Now remember that if you have f of x to f of neg 4 minus 3x, you can obviously go for multiple ways, but I personally always recommend that you do make sure that you take negative common. Make the coefficient of this 1. So I get negative 4 over 3. So what I can do is I can reflect graph in y-axis because this is f of negative x. So from here, I am going to do this first. I got this f of negative x. Now, after that, I'm going to move the graph. Of course, here there is 3 common. You took 3 common. After that, you horizontal stretch factor by 1/3 and then move 4 by 3 units to the right. 4 by 3 units to right. What else you could have done was that you could have, let's say you have taken f of x, you move, let's say 4 units to the left. This is an alternate way. So it's like I move 4 units to the left. So I got f of x plus 4. Then you reflect in basically y-axis. So when you replace in y-axis, your x gets replaced with minus x. So it's going to become negative x plus 4. And then you do horizontal stretch factor by 1/3. So if I do horizontal stretch factor by 1/3, you replace x with x with 3x. So this is your resulting function. So there are two alternate ways you could have done this question, but remember that sequence is very important. So like whichever order you go into, that's going to be really, really important. All right, next up is to sketch the graph gx. So first I'm going to write down g of x. So g of x is nothing but 7/2 times 4 minus 3x minus 3 plus 5. So that's going to be 7/8 minus 3, 6x, and minus 3 plus 5. So that's 7/5 minus 6x plus 5. And after this, what you do is you find out the vertical asymptote. So vertical asymptote is x equals to 5 or 6. Horizontal asymptote is y equals to 5. And to find the y-intercept, plug x as 0. So 7/5 plus 5. So 7/5 plus 5. So 25 plus the 32/5 the y-intercept. So this should be sufficient for me to roughly sketch. So vertical asymptote is x equals to 5 by 6 here. X is 5 by 6, and then you've got y equals to 5 here. So y equals to 5. Then you got the y-intercept at 32/5. So this is here approximately. So this is where the graph will be. And here it is going to be something like this. So that's your possible graph for this particular question. Without using calculus, find out the range of this function. Now, this is like one of the kind of question that I always insist students to like make sure you practice. So I have given one question of this kind to ensure that you have got sound understanding. So here, first thing is that it has been given that x squared minus 10x plus 25 over x plus 4. So first thing what I'm going to do here is that this expression is, like when you talk about the range or the domain, so like what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert to this to the implicit form. So it'll be xy plus 4y equals to x squared minus 10x plus 25. And then you bring in everything one side. So x squared minus 10x plus 25 minus xy minus 4y equals to 0. So you get a proper quadratic x squared minus, you're going to take a negative, so it becomes 10 plus y times x, and then this is 25 minus 4y equals to 0. After this, what you do is you do, because x and y needs to be real for domain and range both. So I'm going to do b squared minus 4ac for this quadratic greater than 0 or equals to 0. So it'll become minus 10 plus y, the whole squared, is b minus 4 times 1 times c is 25 minus 4y. This has to be greater than or equals to 0. Now, if you open this up, it's y squared plus 20y plus 100 minus 100 plus 4 fours are 16y greater than or equals to 0. This get cancelled. And at the end, we get y squared plus 36y greater than or equals to 0. Now, since you got a quadratic inequality, I'm going to just find out the values like 0 and negative 36 are the roots of this quadratic inequality. I'm going to draw the possible graph for this. So just to see where it's positive. So you can see clearly that it is positive basically out here. So it is positive here and here. So when you write down the final answer for this question, your y value actually is going to be either greater than or equals to 0 or y less than or equals to negative 36. So these are the two y values, and also you can consider this as range. Now, once you got the range, you have got to sketch the graph as well. So to sketch the graph, firstly, it's a question where you have to find out the oblique asymptote. So I'm going to first find out the oblique asymptote by dividing by the quotient, divider here. So I get x squared plus 4x minus, you get negative 14x plus 25. Then you get negative 14 here, negative 14x minus 56. So basically x minus 14, as you know, this is the oblique asymptote. And after that, I'm going to complete the rest of the stuff. So here I'm going to draw axes. you have got the vertical asymptote at -4, x is equals to -4, and then you got y-intercept, um, oblique asymptote as x minus 14. So x minus 14 is going to be something like here. Let's say I'm just not able to draw the exact one. Then you got a root. When I take the root, this is going to be at 14. This is going to cut at -14. Obviously, that's the drawing for this. Once you got that, your root is at x equals to 5. You equate to 0 and solve, you get x equals to 5. So x equals to 5 touches. And the range you got was y greater than or equals to 0. So obviously there's a touching point. It's vertical to the parallel to the vertical asymptote as well as oblique asymptote. So here the graph is something here. And then you got something like this. So that's your possible sketch for this graph. So this y value is 0, this y value is -36. And is one of the important questions. So coming to the next example now. So the next part is basically we have y equals to 3 over x is stretched parallel to y-axis. So if you see stretched parallel to y-axis, and then by a factor of 7. So stretch parallel to y-axis by 7 means this is vertical stretch factor by 7. So 3 by x times 7, that's 21 by x. And then translate 3 units to the right. So it's going to become 21 over x minus 3. And then move 5 units up. So plus 5. So that's the basic graph. And then after that, we have to do sketching. So when you do sketching, this is 1 over x graph. If you vertical stretch factor by basically 21, so it's approximately like here. Now move the graph 3 to the right and 5 units up. So approximately, when you draw the possible graph, the graph is something like here and here. So that's how you do this kind of particular kind of question. So here's the fifth question. Basically, the question is f of x is 5x minus 3, where x is less than or equals to -1, and y equals to x squared plus bx plus 3, where x is greater than or equals to 1. It has been given that f of 7 is 12. Find the value of a and b, and also given that the function is continuous. So now look at the function being continuous. Basically, it does mean that if I plug in x as -1 here, 5 times -1 minus 3, that's -5, -3, that's -8. And if I plug x as 1 here, so that's a plus b plus 3, they are equal. So that's like -8. So you get a one equation as a plus b equals to -11. Second is f of 7 is 12. So if you plug in x as 7 here, it becomes, because f of 7 will be used, this function is going to be used. So it'll be 49a plus 7b plus 3 equals to 12. So you get basically 49a plus 7b equals to 9. So you got these two equations, number 1, equation number 2, and let's solve this. It's going to become 7a plus 7b equals to -77. You subtract these two, so you get 42a equals to -9 and positive. So this is going to become 86. So a is 86 over 42. Once you got a, you plug in any of the equation to get the value of b.